Hello, children, and welcome back to your EVS class today after the vacations. As you can see on your screen, today we'll be starting with the third lesson, which is regarding soil. Now, children, most of you know that soil is a very important part of our environment. It is due to the soil that we are able to grow crops, we have trees, plants, and on these trees and plants the different animals including the humans depend upon. So this is the reason soil is one of the most important part of our environment. Soil is that material which we see on the topmost layer of the surface of the earth. Now, you may not be knowing it, but soil is very, very precious. The reason is that even a few centimeters thick layer of soil takes a period of thousands of years to form. And we do not take care of the soil thinking that it is not so important. Now, how is soil formed? We should first know the formation of the soil. The soil is formed by the breaking of the rocks. The weathering takes place in the environment. Weathering is when the parent rock or the bedrock breaks up into smaller pieces by the action of wind, water, heat of the sun, actions of the animals, humans, and so on. These rocks get broken up into smaller and smaller pieces, and slowly and gradually the soil is formed. The plants and animals that are dead, they keep on getting buried into the soil, and by the action of bacteria on their dead bodies, it adds humus to the soil. You know already that humus is the matter which adds fertility to our soil. Now we must also know what the soil looks like. You can see here a diagram of soil profile. You need to draw this diagram in your notebooks. The soil is, as I said, made from parent rock or the bedrock. So the lowest layer is that of the bedrock. Slowly and gradually, this bedrock gets broken up and forms the layer called the subsoil, which is not very fine. And the uppermost layer on the earth's surface is that of topsoil, which is made up of very fine particles of soil. The quality, the characteristics and the quality of the soil depends upon the rock from which the soil has been formed. Since the rocks are of different types in different areas, therefore soils that are formed in different areas are also different in characteristics. They are different in their fertility, they are different in their texture, color, and the nutrients that they contain. So now the next thing that we move on is the types of soil. Now the soil can be classified on the basis of origin and composition. So we will be dealing with the soils that are basically found in India. And in India we have 6 types of soil. The most important is the alluvial soils. The alluvial soils are formed by the rivers, the perennial rivers, especially those that are in the Himalayan region. These rivers cause erosion of the mountainous region and bring the soils from the mountains and deposit them in the plains. These soils are very, very fertile since they have a lot of minerals in them. They are found in the Indo-Gangetic plain, that is the northern plains you have studied in your social science, and in the deltas of the rivers, like Sundarbans is the delta of the river Ganga and the Brahmaputra. So these are the areas which have alluvial soils. Wherever there are alluvial soils, these areas are very good for agricultural purposes. These alluvial soils are like a boon to the farmers. Next, we come to the red soil. As the name suggests, these soils are reddish in color. The reason is the richness of iron in them. This red soil is basically found in the peninsular region, that is the Deccan area of our country, the Deccan Plateau, like the states of Karnataka, Andhra. These are the states where we see red soil. These soils can be used for agricultural purposes after adding a few minerals in the form of fertilizers. Whatever is lacking in the soil is added by means of fertilizers. Laterite soils, they are found in the eastern and the western Ghats, that is in the peninsular region. On the extreme west and east of India, we have the western and the eastern Ghats. There we find these laterite soils. They are not very fertile, and the reason is leaching. Because of the leaching in these areas, laterite soils are not very good, yet we use them for agriculture by adding the fertilizers that are required. Next is the black soil, which are also called as the rigor or the black cotton soils. Black soils are found in the Deccan area, states of Gujarat, Maharashtra. And why do we call them cotton soil? Yes, correctly you have answered, because they are good for growing cotton. These are the states which are known for their cotton textile industry. The reason is they have the availability of cotton. Most of the farmers here are engaged in the cultivation of cotton and sugarcane. Now, how is the black soil formed? It is formed by the solidification of the lava which flows out of the volcano. And this lava, it solidifies after it gets cooled, and it forms a rock called the basalt rock. When this basalt rock breaks up, it gives formation to the black soil. These black soils are clay, sticky, and they retain water. That means they contain water for a longer period of time. And this type of characteristics are best suited for growing cotton. Next, we come to desert soil. Now, desert soil, as the name suggests, do you think they are very good for crops? No. They are sandy, they are coarse, and they do not retain water at all. They are very porous. Sand, as you know, if you pour water on sand, what happens? It disappears. So same with desert soils. And these soils are basically found in the desert area. This one desert state, that is Rajasthan. These soils can be cultivated only with the availability of water. So in Rajasthan, the Indira Gandhi Canal provides water, and wherever the water is available, these soil can be used for cultivation. Next is the mountain soil. As the name suggests, they are found on the mountainous regions. These soils are thin and they are not very good for agriculture. So these soils are basically used for growing trees, fruit trees, the different orchards, like you have heard, the apple plantations, tea and coffee plantations on the mountain sides. Now, terrace farming is done on mountains. We have done in an earlier lesson. The slope of the mountain is cut up into terraces, into steps, and then it is used for farming purposes. The next topic is the functions and uses of soil. Most of us are able to guess the functions and uses of soil. First of all, the soil is useful because we grow crops, forests grow on the soil, and we humans as well as animals depend upon the plants and the crops. The second function of soil is that it retains water, it recharges the groundwater. The rainwater seeps or percolates into the soil, and the water gets filtered in the process. And then the soil retains this water, and then slowly it is released for the plants, and the plants are able to draw water from the soil. Soil absorbs gases like carbon dioxide and methane, and the marshy areas, they soak up the heavy metals and other pollutants that industries release. This is a very important function. So in a way, it is reducing the pollution. Now, we obtain several minerals from the soil, the different raw materials, coal, iron ore, and so many things we obtain from the soil by digging it up. Then soil provides nutrients and support that plants need for growth, and thus for us too. So this is for today. In my next video, I am going to discuss the rest of the lesson. Take care, children. Try to research a little more into the topic. Bye for now.